What's going on, everybody? Welcome to an exhausting episode. Exhausting because today we're building a exhaust. And I can almost promise you that this is unlike any exhaust you've ever seen before because it was built by a man with curiosity, creativity, and passion for his art. And I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about Forrest. And if you don't know who Forrest is, he is basically an artiste when it comes to fabrication. He doesn't just install pipes onto a car because he custom builds it piece by piece, molding it specifically to the car that he's working on. Name any supercar and odds are he's likely built an exhaust for it already. So let's touch on that first C, which is the creativity aspect. So because the SCRAPSTANG's engine has been moved so far back and down, we can't just bolt any exhaust onto it. And that's where Forrest's brain starts firing off those creative juices because he has to somehow get the exhaust gases from the engine towards the rear of the car. And it all starts off right here. Peeking through our wheel well, you will see our Mac equal length headers. Equal length meaning that each one of these runners has the same distance from the head to the merge collector, therefore evenly distributing those exhaust pulses and theoretically giving us more power. And as if they weren't cool enough already, Forrest decided to weld a V-band flange on there rather than the old donut style it had. And this is where the fabrication journey starts, taking it one bend, one cut, and one tack at a time until he is satisfied with the fitment, turning down from the engine, around the transmission, and over the cross member. And speaking of cuts, while me and you might see this simple 180 bend, Forrest sees all the angles and shapes within the bend, and if he doesn't see it, he will then use cardboard aided design to find the angle or shape. He then added these flex pipes which will compensate for engine movement and vibration, as well as an O2 sensor for our Phytech unit, and that completes our turn down assembly, which leads us to our next point. Curiosity and experimentation, which isn't that the whole premise of this build? Like, why did we relocate the engine back and down? Well, I was curious to experiment with weight distribution. So when it came to the exhaust, Forrest didn't want to waste time arguing about which is better, an X pipe or an H pipe. Instead, he says, why don't we build a system where we can easily drop and exchange between the X and an H? And see, that's what I mean by creative and curious, because that would have never even been an option in my head. So the curious man gets to work on creating a center support that will allow us to easily exchange between that X and an H pipe. And in the middle of all of this, he even decides to show me how to TIG weld, which I hadn't done before starting this exhaust project. And I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised with my welds, but again, I couldn't have done it without his instruction. I then continue to weld a couple more pieces on the center support, and that's when we end up with this unit that looks like it can carry guns outside of an aircraft. Once installed, it is sprung by two bushings that are secured to the transmission cross member, leaving us with a secure but floating assembly. So you may be thinking, how is that supposed to help interchange the X and the H? Well, let me show you. So right here we have the center support. Right here we have our mufflers, which we will get into in a sec. And in between we have these straight throughs for now, but this is supposed to simulate the X or the H. In the front here we have the V-band clamps. Once that is disconnected, we have two spring tabs. Pop that guy off, pop this spring off. Our assembly comes off, and our simulated X or H pipe will then come down. And to put it back on, we just do the exact opposite. Spring number one, spring number two, and just like that, we're reassembled. So now you can see how easy it is to remove the center portion of that exhaust, but let's address the elephant in the room. That's neither an X or an H pipe. Those are two straight through pipes, but those are in the making. We had to make the entire exhaust first before we know what measurements and what angles we need for the X and the H pipe. But subscribe, obviously. You guys are gonna be able to see that in the future where we make comparisons of sound, power, daily drivability, and etc. Again, this is all for experimentation purposes. So let's quickly go over some of the terms and materials we're using today. There's a couple materials we can make the exhaust out of. The first one being mild steel. This is usually the cheapest option, but it can rust out eventually. The second option is stainless steel, which can be a little pricier, but it won't rust out like mild. And lastly, we have titanium, which I don't even have an example for you because I'm not a millionaire. For the SCRAPSTANG, however, we will be using 304 stainless steel from Dynavox. The package came with multiple bends as well as 2 4-foot straights. And according to Forrest, the stuff is damn good. So how do we make a removable section? There's also a couple ways to go about that, and one of them is these donut flanges, which can be very restrictive depending on what you get or what is installed in your cast iron manifold, for example. But these donuts are honestly a pain to deal with. The next option is one of these 3-bolt flanges, which are very common. As you can see, they are straight through, but these, you might have some clearance issues depending on how much access you have under the car. Then there's some weird ones like this that go from 3 inches to 2 1/8. I'm no scientist, but that can't be good for airflow. The next option is a slip fit, which does exactly what it sounds like. A tube that's been expanded can now slide over the other one, and you can use a clamp to secure this or a spring tab like we're using today. In our case, we're using a combination of V-bands and slip fits, and if you don't know what V-bands are, that's okay, because I myself wasn't familiar until I met Forrest. They're actually pretty neat. 2 machine surfaces squeezed by that V-band clamp, providing a radial force, making it a nicely sealed union. Now we can get to the mufflers, which are special within themselves because they are homemade. Yes, you heard that correctly. Forrest custom tailored these to fit the SCRAPSTANG. One set has corrugated internals while the other has perforated internals, but they are both packed with this top secret flame resistant material that 99% of you guessed incorrectly in the last video. So after choosing a rough location for the mufflers themselves, we had to find a way to hang them. So I started off by making a bunch of these little brackets, which can be cut to size in order for us to use them in different ways. The first way we used them was by welding it onto a thick 1/4 inch plate, and that 1/4 inch plate has bolts going through it, through the body, and through a top piece of sheet metal to spread out the load, which gave us a pretty solid setup here. Next, we welded one of those brackets to the frame rail and then added a bushing, and you could kind of see here how we brainstorm and cut and shape these to size. And boy, that's when Forrest and I got to work, because we could see the finish line. We could almost hear the exhaust in our heads, making sure we had all of the brackets well supported and everything was lining up as it was supposed to. And not surprising, but Forrest's MIG welds were just as good as his TIG welds. And apparently he liked my MIG welds too.
Dude, let me just tell you something. I'm pretty happy about that weld, dude. That one? Dude, that was look. Yes, sir.
Now all we have to do is finish welding everything that was tacked up, and we do that by back purging, which is basically just filling up the inside of the tube with the argon gas in order to protect that inside weld. And by this point, Forrest just said, hey man, you just weld up the rest, and so I did. We just kind of jammed out and listened to music while I laid down some dimes, and boom, just like that, we have a complete exhaust, ladies and gents. So this is it, the moment we've all been waiting for, the sound test. Let's fire this thing up and listen to what this full custom exhaust sounds like. And this is also the moment to touch on that third and final aspect, which is passion. And Forrest was here not only on his own time and on his own dime, but it was his birthday. And he told me that in the morning when he woke up, he said to himself, for my birthday, I want to listen to an exhaust that I built. And that is what we did, until we didn't. So we cranked and we cranked and we cranked to no avail. I guess the SCRAPSTANG had different plans for Forrest's birthday. So the next day I took a deep dive into the issue, and it turns out it was just some fouled spark plugs. So I took them all out and cleaned them, which leads us to attempt number 2. This one's for you, Forrest. Fuel pump. Clear prop. Let's let it idle for a bit. I mean, it idles aggressively. It sounds mean, but holy crap, I'm noticing The induction sound is crazy. That sounds fucking amazing. Holy crap, guys, she's running really good. It was my fault, I had fouled the plugs. Now she's running like a top. It's not even missing a beat. Look. It sounds freaking ridiculous. Oh my lord. Also, check this out. One really cool thing about this setup is that at the moment, with the engine off, I have the fan and the water pump on at the same time. So the cooling system is completely operational even though the engine is off. Let's just see how fast it starts up again. Look at that. Settles real nice. Man, the idle with these mufflers sounds amazing. It's not gonna be too crazy. It's not gonna be too annoying considering it's side exit exhaust. I think that's one of the biggest complaints I hear, that people get annoyed because, I mean, it's almost right next to your ear, but those are quiet enough when it's idling, but it sounds great up high. So do you like it? Because I love it, but I can do you one better because it drives.